Good morning. So nice to be here this morning and to literally see all of you. It's very good to see you. The last time I was up here, I talked about a cousin who died too young. I don't want to be too much of a downer, but I'm afraid I'm going to be a little bit today. I hope, though, that it comes around to be uplifting in the end. My nephew Carl passed away 12 years ago today, 5 days before his 36th birthday. It was a massive heart attack. I still can't wrap my head around that. I probably never will be able to. My sister, his mom, and I are not too close, but I know that she has suffered mightily for the loss of her firstborn, and my heart always aches for her also. I was listening to a podcast yesterday during my beach walk. In the months preceding her death in July of this year, Shannon Doherty started this podcast called Let's Be Clear. It was her way of setting the record straight in her life, talking with friends and former castmates, and spinning out the dreams she still had for her life while dealing with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. She never got to do all the things that she was still dreaming about, but now her mom, along with her closest friends, are carrying on with her podcast and working to make some of her dreams, like building a large horse and dog rescue, come true. On the episode I was listening to yesterday morning, her mom mentioned several of the big trips that they took together to Italy and to Greece, but she said that one of the strongest memories she has is watching the game show Family Feud together. They would pick sides, shout out answers, and laugh and laugh. My nephew is almost 10 years younger than I, but we were very close. He spent innumerable Friday nights at our house, and until they moved to Sterling Heights when he was about 12, he would wake me up on Saturday mornings to watch cartoons. We loved them all. We especially loved the Bugs Bunny cartoons with the whole Looney Tunes crew. Those are memories I've always held close. Saturday mornings hanging out with Carl, watching cartoons. Even after I went to college, if I was home for the weekend, I'd drag myself out of bed to watch cartoons, and I'm glad that I did. Mike and I got to hang out Friday afternoon and swim in the lake. Last week, we walked around Ludington. We like walking around and exploring places. We went to Chicago a few months ago, and when we were telling a friend about it afterward, she said a little teasingly, "What did you do, just walk around?" Why, yes, that's exactly what we did when we went to Chicago, and we had fun. My parents took me with them as part of a tour group to Hawaii when I was 15. When I was 12, we got to see that year's Canadian National Expo in Toronto. Those were great trips, but what I think about the most is my mom and I acting out the parts in books when I was little, or my dad and I watching Jacques Cousteau and National Geographic shows together. I often think about my mom and dad and I sitting around the kitchen table on Sunday mornings, reading sections of the newspaper together and passing the sections back and forth and reading things out loud to each other. Mike and I have taken some really cool trips together, and I look forward to many more, but in some ways they're not going to hold a candle to laughing neck deep in Lake Michigan or just walking around. My point is, of course, absolutely, take the big trips, have the big moments, and dream the big dreams with your family and friends. Those are grand, necessary, and oftentimes once or twice in a lifetime, or sometimes bucket list items, and they are not to be forsaken. But don't forget how important those daily things are that might be dull to some people, but that make up the warp and weft of your lifetime together. So on this day and going forward, treasure all the moments that make up your days with your loved ones. Oftentimes, whenever they transition to the next world, it will feel too soon. Of course, you'll remember those big moments, but it's the game shows, the cartoons, the newspapers, and the just walking around that you'll miss the most.